So to me, again, people say, well, why aren't you worth $1 billion, Brad? What do you think you're worth? It boils down to the fact that if you want your net worth to grow, well, then you need your self-worth to grow. There's that, self-worth, and then people don't know how. To me, it's either you don't think you're worth it or you don't know how to do it. Either one.
You always say what it is. What it is, folks.
What it is, Brad Lea back again with another episode of Drop Bomb, saying in the studio, folks, I got a real treat for you. That's consistency, and that helps build a brand.
That is consistency. I mean, I say, look, it's Coach Micheal Burt. We're here at Level 10 Studios, the Greatness Factory. I always wanted to ask you this question, Brad Lea. When you say we got a real treat for you today, there's got to be some people that you interview. It's like, it ain't a real treat. They're not that good, right? Do you see that?
Yes, but whether or not it's a treat is subjective.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a treat because there's going to be information given, and
Yeah.
that information is going to be mined by me. So I already know it's going to be a treat. The question is whether you like the treat. Like, for example, you like cheesecake?
I do.
Well, today it might be cheesecake where someone says, I don't really like cheesecake. Well, it's still a treat.
Yeah.
I didn't say you're going to like the treat.
Yeah.
But then there's sometimes I get people and there's a real treat. Like every time you've been on.
Yeah.
Those are great discussions, right?
Well, the one
So if someone says that ain't a treat, well, dude, that's your opinion. To me, it's a treat.
So when you were doing the podcast, who was the gentleman where it got a little heated? Was that planned? Or was that
John Sarasani.
Or was that just you got to look? Because
No, it wasn't planned.
I mean, if there's one thing I've known about you, the whole time I've known you, which has been 10 years, you stay calm, right? You always stay calm. You process information.
Yeah.
You don't. I've never seen you lose your cool, when you've been around me. And so was that just some things he said that irritated you, or how do you consider an exchange like that?
Well, he was being a little condescending.
Okay.
Number one, he's a little arrogant in that regard. He thinks he knows everything, but yet he's not. Like for example, he kept saying, "I'm not in your lane." Dude, you're in my lane. You're just broke down with a freaking flat tire.
Okay.
Like you're selling $100 tickets.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my lane.
Yeah.
Okay, you should be selling $10,000 tickets. Oh, I don't want to be like that. You are like that. You're just a welfare version of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you need to start valuing yourself, was what I was telling him, and he does, and he did. And he had put out an interview that he thought was building hype for the podcast, talking about we got in a fight.
Okay.
So everyone's expecting a fight.
Okay.
When in reality, dude, we went to steak afterwards, and he was asking all kinds of questions because he wants to be in the lane. He just doesn't have any confidence in the lane, and he doesn't want to be seen as someone in that lane because, again, he does have a good intention, meaning the reason why it was heated is because I'm trying to tell him you need to value yourself more.
Yeah.
And he's trying to tell me that he's when I was selling used cars, he was playing football for Notre Dame. Well, again, dude, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
That was condescending. Used cars, first of all, they were new. Second of all, there's nothing wrong with selling things. He has a problem with coming across as selling things. Right. So I was trying to help him get through it because really deep down, the guy wants to do what we do.
Right. And would you consider yourself a challenger? I mean, because I do think that's one of your skill sets. You kind of challenge people to think that they can do bigger things when they're doing small things. You say something to them, right? When they have, I remember when a coaching company started doing $250,000 a month, and I was just so proud that it was doing $250,000 a month, right? And I was on a podcast, and I said, man, we're doing $250,000 a month. Of course, I was a basketball coach and made $50,000 a year, so it's like we're doing big things. And I remember you calling me that night and going, man, did I hear you say that? $250,000 a month? And I said, yeah, man. He said, that's embarrassing. You said, that's embarrassing. I said, don't tell people that.
I'll hurt your brand.
But what you said, well, you said, a guy like you should be doing at least $2.5 million a month.
Easy.
So What is it that when you see people that are ultra talented, and there's so many people that come through Lightspeed out there that are probably very skilled people, but
Yeah.
they're highly under monetized.
Yeah.
What is the problem there in your opinion?
Well, in most cases, they have a low self-worth.
Okay.
I mean, people want to. The truth is like poetry. Not everyone likes it,
Yeah.
but I do. I believe it's the way to go. They may not like it, but it's the truth. And love isn't lies. Okay, if you truly love somebody, man, you don't lie to them.
Yeah.
So the truth is the truth. And when it boils down to it, when you uncover it, the truth is like you're only making 250s because you weren't charging enough. You weren't.
Right.
You don't think you brought that more value than that.
Right.
So what is that? Technically, even though it's a healthy self-worth, you didn't, like, for example, if I said, Coach, how much does it cost to have you come speak? And you said 10,000. And all of a sudden everybody and their dog is booking you for $10,000. My advice to you would be raise your fee.
Right.
And then you go, well, no one will pay it. Well, then you don't think you're worth any more than $10,000.
Yeah.
Or you don't think it's worth more than $10,000.
That's good.
At the end of the day, you don't value yourself enough. And that's, again, in a nutshell, what most people's problem is.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, you only get what you think you're worth.
Right.
Like if I told you come to my office and work for 60 days for $1, what would you say?
Yeah. No.
Because you know you're worth more than $1.
Right.
But if I said I'll give you $1 million, you'd be like, I'm there.
Yeah.
Well, then you only think you're worth $1 million. So it boils down to the fact that if you want your net worth to grow, well, then you need your self-worth to grow. And what does that take for people? Well, it changes for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, in my mind, you got to get your mindset right, you got to get your skill set right,
Yeah.
and you got to get your habits right.
Yeah.
And when I saw you and talked to you, your skill set is fantastic.
Yeah.
How's your mindset? I don't know.
Right.
You might think it's great,
Yeah.
but in reality, back in those days, you make more now, don't you?
I do.
You probably did a little more work,
Yep.
found a few more things that bolstered your self-worth.